Find the move. Rubinstein looks close to escaping, but white can turn the h-file into a trap. What candidate move breaks the shield? This is Aaron Nimzowitsch against Akiba Rubinstein at Semmering in 1926. The headline is not a single cheap shot. It is a slow squeeze where white keeps asking black the same practical question. Which piece gets to move and which weakness gets worse if it does? That is the heart of Zugzwang. If black has to answer the bishop capture, the escape square disappears and the king safety problem becomes a disaster. After 1. Nf3d5-2, b3c5-3, bb2nc6-4, e3 nf6-5, bb5. Nimzowitsch builds from distance. The bishop on b2 is not attacking yet, but it points at the king side and makes black think about dark square safety before the center has even opened. The first structural choice comes with 9. bxc6 bxc6. White gives up the bishop pair, but he damages black in a different currency: time and coordination. The c6 bishop can be chased, the dark squares can become targets, and white can start using f4 and e4 to claim space. With 11, f4 and 13, e4, white stops playing opening moves and starts setting terms. The pawns take away e5 and make black defend with less room. This is the first training point. A tactic later in the game often starts as a space advantage now. 14. qf3 and 16. Ray 1 add 2 more attackers without rushing. The queen eyes the king side, the rook prepares the e-file, and black has to decide whether to challenge the center or wait. Waiting is dangerous because waiting gives Nimzowitsch another useful move. Rubinstein tries 17, dex 4, and white answers 18. c4. That queen recapture matters. White does not just win back a pawn. He puts the queen on a central square where qg4, rg3, and pressure on the king can all become real. 19. re3 is the move that makes the position feel modern. The rook is not staying home. It slides across the third rank, and after 20. rg3, the threat is simple to understand. White wants bodies near black king before black can untangle. Here is your second pause. After 21, bx4, white has a forcing resource. Find 22. Next 5. The knight jumps into the center, hits important squares, and makes qg4 harder to meet. The motif is overload. Black cannot guard every entry point at once. What would you play if the natural move only wins a pawn? The move to remember is the one that forces a defender away, because every line opens toward g7. 22. qe8 is defensive, but 23. qg4 turns the board toward g7 and f7. When white plays 24, nxf7+, the check is not a random sacrifice. It drags the queen to f7 and leaves black still facing queen and rook pressure on the dark squares. 25. xa4 looks like a side capture, but it also keeps black tied down. White takes material while keeping threats alive. This is the difference between greed and initiative. The queen capture comes with tempo because black still has kingside problems. 26. qg4 bd8 27. qg6 h6 creates the picture white wanted. The queen lands on g6, black spends a move making air, and every black piece feels defensive. If you are training this pattern, notice the queen does not need mate immediately. It needs black to run out of comfortable replies. 28. 1 rupee qd7 29. re6 c4 brings the rook into the 6th rank. Black finally creates counterplay, but the counterplay is late. White can answer 30. bxc4, removing the distraction and keeping the rook posted near the king. Another puzzle moment arrives after 31. rb1 plus 32. 1 rupee bb6 plus 33. kf1 rex 1 plus. What should white do? 34. b's1 is calm and strong. That recapture accepts the exchange sequence while preserving the attacking queen, rook lift ideas, and the bishop route toward h6. It also avoids chasing checks that do not improve white attack. Now the final net forms. 35. rh3 rf8 36. bc3 bd8 37, bd2 qxc2. Black grabs material, but his queen is far from the king. White has the forcing shot from the opening freeze, 38. bxh6. The bishop capture removes the pawn shield and threatens direct king trouble. This is the scary part for the defender. Your turn. What move would you play if black queen is too far away to defend h6? After 38, qb1 plus 39. q2 qc2 plus 40. q3 bb6 plus 41. q4, the white king walks because the attack still belongs to white. That sounds strange, but it is concrete. Black checks without improving defenders, while white keeps the queen, bishop, and rook aimed at the king side. The game ends after 41. qe2 plus 42. re3. Rubinstein has checks, but not a rescue plan. The rook block is more than defense. It says black queen has run out of useful checks, and the threats around h6 and g7 remain unbearable. The lesson is clear. Zugzwang is not only an endgame word. In attacking chess, it can mean every defensive move creates a new target. Replay the critical moments. 18. c4 centralizes. 20. rg3 lifts the rook. 24. nxf7 plus overloads the queen. And 38. bxh6 breaks the shield. Then open the My Chess Coach lesson and test whether you can spot the same pressure before the tactic is announced. If you can explain why the candidate move works before moving the piece, you learn the pattern instead of memorizing the game.